first of all, we will introduce the situation here, right?
Yeah.
There's Team Germany against Team USA, and we have here, now we will tell the names, so Google whatever will know who we're here.
Yeah, I'm Joel.
This is Joel.
Yeah.
I'm Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I have that voice all the time, by the way.
Yeah, he always talks like that.
Carsten Logemann from Garnelenhaus in Germany.
Chris Lukaup.
I'm okay.
He's okay, Oliver
He's
Knott.
fine.
Okay.
That's clever.
Knott.
That's clever.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So we will discuss the differences between the US aquatic hobby and the European hobby and see what is the differences, what we do better, what you do better, and
Oh, they have aquarium hobby in the USA?
It's growing. We're up to 3
Oh, it's
keepers at this point. Yes.
Yeah, it's us two and some other guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's why we get so many YouTube views. We got 1 viewer.
That's right.
so what do you think is the I mean, you have been recently to Europe at the Interzoo. You could take a little insight, or how you would call that, in the hobby. So what is your opinion about the European, or especially the German market?
I think they're super specialized. When I meet German or European fish keepers, they really only keep one thing. Like, I'm only into pupfish, or I'm only into, this lake of fish, as
Like
opposed
Lake Malawi or Tanganyika?
Yeah,
right?
but even so, it's almost like I'm only doing shell dwellers, or I'm only doing featherfins out of Lake Tanganyika, or something like that. And when I was talking with some others while we were over there, I think I came to the conclusion, because you guys kind of specialize in almost everything you do, that it just translated to like the hobby in general. Like when we were at this guy's house who bred pufferfish, he's bred like 27.
Because you like pufferfish.
Yeah, I love
right?
pufferfish. Yeah,
It's
so
not- I
had
just
to
see
go
when
there.
you're posting on Instagram, it's a lot of pufferfish.
Yeah, so he's bred 27 different species, and he's keeping like
27?
35. Yeah, he's
You also recently discovered pufferfish. I saw you on Instagram
Yeah,
posting.
that's cool fish.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
so whatever. I mean, okay.
And
You know.
eat shrimps. I love shrimps.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't like them. So
Yeah.
Me too.
So he's keeping all these puffers, and we're over at his house, and it's super cool. But they were going to go to their club meeting, and he's like, "Oh, well, this club is only for catfish. Like, we don't have really club meetings monthly for specific types. It's like just the general aquarium meeting, not like I'm going to go to the catfish one and then the killifish one." And I thought that was crazy, because Germany's not even that big, and you have so many specialized clubs compared to us.
I mean, yeah, the history of the German clubs. We had a lot of clubs in the past. It changed a little bit in the last years, because I mean, with internet and all the Facebook groups and the forums, that changed a little bit. So in the past we had like 30,000 people organized in clubs. Now we have like maybe 10,000, as far as I remember the numbers right, but correct me if I'm wrong. But and what about the differences in like, do you see that Germany, for example, is more modern and has more a modern style aquatic hobby, or how do you see that? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to say like that it's necessarily more modern. It's obviously just kind of a different
But you see there's a
style.
difference,
Yeah,
right?
there is a definite difference, but I think that's almost like architectural. Like that almost comes over from the architectural side. So you look at like stands and tanks and stuff like that that are made in America versus Europe. It's sort of, America is sort of loud and kind of crazy, whereas most of the European stuff is pretty subdued, and it's actually like a part of the house as opposed to this
Okay.
crazy feature,
Now we get the pizza.
And I think
guys are coming with
the
pizza.
biggest thing that the pizza shows
So the
up.
only reason I showed up.
I would say that
They still have eaten the pizza.
the biggest difference I would say, as far as that goes, is that I would say that the Europeans it's more thought out process. Like a house in America, 4,000 square feet's normal, so it's like, oh yeah, throw it over there, it's fine.
Okay.
Whereas most of the houses haven't changed size.
But
in a
also,
long time.
for example, when I come over here, I see that the difference for me is how they work with the tank. I mean, usually I see a lot of plastic stuff in tanks.
Yeah.
This is in my view, the majority of the tanks have plastic in it, like plastic plants. And in Europe, we don't see that too much. Oli, do you see
No,
like
that's-
plastic plants in the tank in
No.
Germany? Not that
even,
much.
Even they buy real plants, and if they die, they Buy again.
they buy again real plants. I
Has
mean,
it always been that way, or was it like
I
15 years ago there was
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
no,
plastic?
that's in my view.
You can find now in the normal shops you can find not so much plastic assortment for as decoration. That's normal. It's just different. So, but that's a different kind of culture.
Yeah.
Keeping plants or using plants.
Well, I think there's a little bit to that. Because we have more space, we in general, I think, the average household keeps larger aquariums, which lends itself to more like South American cichlids, bigger stuff that are going to tear plants apart.
You guys are still big in cichlids versus in Europe. This was like in the 90s big when I was like keeping Malawi and Tanganyika stuff. But now, like in Germany, especially in Germany, but also in France and UK, nano is very big, and still nano did not arrive to the US. So, in this point, when you see the forums or you see the Facebook groups, cichlids and catfish or what, everything needs to be big in the US. You know, if you go to places, everything needs to be
like Las Vegas.
yeah.
That's right.
That's Las Vegas is like the peak of all of it. But this is just our view. Do we sell that much fish online? I mean, invertebrates, yes.
No, but it starts now.
Yes,
And
but
it's a big
Yeah,
business.
it's not.
yes, but until
the
yes, the shrimp and the crayfish and snails, that is okay to ship, you know.
Right.
But still, with the fish in Europe and in Germany, the people have some.
problem is it's more expensive. So you need to send it by express.
And that costs about $20 to $30 or euros.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is in the retailer are, das heißt hier eigenes Grabschaufeln.
They shovel their own grave.
Because the assortment is going like this.
Yep.
Guppies and swordtails and something else.
Live bearers,
and if you want to have some special, you can order it online because they don't sell it anymore.
Right,
That's
and
a problem.
You know, one of the reasons that we came to Germany was to talk to as a matter of fact, talk to some of the smaller American stores that came to Germany also. And it was like, well, how are you guys doing so well? It's like, oh, well, you guys are near Seattle, right? Oh, there's a lot of business there. It's like, yeah, they're still not really coming in the store. It's online. That's where they need to be. And, you know, like I was mentioning earlier, I think the perception is that America is really far behind. America is as a whole, right? Like as a whole, you know, when you take the 350 million people, for sure. And also, you know, if you look at like 15 years ago when the internet brought the information that like, what's going on in Japan? You know, it's like, oh, what's that?
But do really the American hobbyists look at Japan or look at Asia? I think they are very concentrated on for example, what you do. But I think that they are not looking too much outside because this is what I observe. I don't know if you have the same view, but I think the American viewers, they focus on the U.S. They stay within the U.S.
The average hobbyist,
Yes, and I think that the Europeans, for example, they always looked outside. The Germans always looked to Japan, to Thailand. What's happening there? I mean, I'm not talking about all of them, but the majority. You know,
right.
The average.
the average, and
Right.
because this is how I see it. I don't know if you have a different perspective of this.
Well, you know, you and I were talking about this, I think yesterday when we were driving around, but
You can tell them we
There
have
is-
been in the
there
desert
was-
collecting moon rocks.
Right,
And
yeah.
we found Area 51 and the moon rocks.
yeah,
Right.
we found Area 51, we found the moon rocks.
Yes.
We didn't find Sasquatch or any aliens, but
But they're there.
they're there. We know they're there. You know, there's a point of entry that was very difficult for Americans, if you think back like 20 years ago, to get a flight to Japan, right? And just to go look around. That was an extreme amount of money for an American to just leave and go look at it. Now with the internet, you know, if you go back for me like 15 years ago, it was like, hey, there's this guy. And it was like, who's this guy? It was like, Takahashi Yamano. Like, well, what's that? You know? And it was like, well, here it is. You know, and it's like, oh wow, this is awesome. Like, what's all this stuff? And then it's like, you know, and then it's like, okay, well, where can I find the books? Oh, well, you can't get them in America because they're not for sale. It's like, okay, so how do I get these books? And you know, it's like you go to the GSAS, which is the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, and you'd have to rent it. You know, and like give them your license and and your birth certificate and the deed to your house, so you could take the book and go look at it.
But
at home
that's another issue.
with
you
all
know?
the windows closed.
I think that the US, for example, they are downloading much more stuff than versus the Europeans. They still buy books, and in the US, it's very common to just download stuff from the internet. You know,
Right.
like that's much more common. That's my view. What do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, in one case they are much more than we, not more than but different. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
can't.
But
I
that's
can't
why
give a
we're here
book away,
to
yeah.
figure out what is different and
Yeah.
how the things work
Right.
there.
Well, I
and
think
with
it's
us
like
in-
if
in
you look at
Germany.
like you and I were talking about this before, but Germany, Japan, Vietnam, all that vast area. Culturally, it existed at home. So if you were a kid, you could go to your parents and go, "Okay, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that?" Whereas in America, the culture was, "Oh, you get the biggest tank with the biggest fish that you could get." So, I could probably tell you, "Oh, here's how you take care of an alligator gar." It's like
Yeah.
I would never own one myself, but like as a kid, that's the kind of knowledge that was passed on for me. So it just was never like available to get the information. Whereas now, it really is becoming available, and people can actually like, you could go on Instagram and see what Oliver did today, right?
Yeah.
And be like, oh wow, what's that? That's some crazy huge tank he's doing. Like, so you see that like huge tank, and then, well, it looks so good. Why is it so good? Oh, well, everything's alive in it. Everything's in it. Oh wait, okay. So. If you think back, like my generation, like everybody saw Top Gun when we were kids,
That's true.
right? And
And-
everybody
and
wanted
Tom
to be a
Cruise-
fighter pilot.
Yes, and
right?
Tom Cruise.
But
The strange thing, he's still looking young. I just saw him on
he's
the,
some kind of weird
it's like-
zombie, or he's a
Yeah,
vampire
he's-
or something.
something is not
I think
okay with this
He's
guy.
from your hometown, I think.
from my hometown.
Yeah,
From
I think
Transylvania?
he's from Transylvania.
I am from Transylvania. I was born there. No, honestly, you can look that
You are, I know.
Wikipedia up, and I was born in the place there. So
You
that's
have a
what,
Wikipedia?
I don't know. You have
Oh.
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah. No,
Someday
no,
I'll
no.
get
You
one.
need to do.
I have to write it. I have to do that. I mean, I crown
You're
myself.
not allowed to
you know.
write your own Wikipedia.
Yes, I
How do
crown
you-
myself also the Shrimp King. I don't wait that others
Well,
do it, so I
but-
did it myself.
But what's about the fish, the laws, the rights of the fish? You have the rights, fish rights? in
No,
the
because
US?
we learned about that where like if you were abusing your fish, they could come in and like
No, yeah, because we are very, very different. Because you can keep the glowfish, for example.
yeah.
They're not allowed in
And,
Europe. I mean,
Right.
And you can keep fish for shows with no
filter. You have to have a filter.
no,
and-
for
or-
example, in the zoo you have to not more less than 60 liter is not
Right,
allowed,
yeah,
and
it's-
something else.
There's some
Yeah.
rules, you know.
There's
They're
some
strict
rules.
about that, and especially if you post, and I just posted a picture of a glowfish because I
We
saw
are-
it here
yeah,
at
we
the,
get a shitstorm
and then the shit, yeah, really.
because we posted, we don't make
We,
it.
we
Right.
don't
Yeah.
say it's
Yeah.
great or it's wrong
That
to do
wasn't-
that.
yeah.
We just showed it, and the people they went nuts because they say, "What is this? You cannot do that." The poor fish. And does that happen to you when you post something about glowfish, or the people are okay
Yeah,
with it?
because there's a kind of the fish.
I believe.
culture here.
I believe it's more common now.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
building up, but like my store, I don't sell any of the glowfish just as a choice for my store. Like California,
Why you don't sell them?
because I actually want to push people towards the beauty that's already there. Like, and I'm conflicted with like an electric blue ram versus a normal ram or a German
Come on
blue
our
ram
side
already.
because you're thinking more like we do.
well,
We conquered them already.
it's,
Oli. Look
it's
at that.
half,
I mean,
it's half
huh?
being selfish because I find it easier for the customer to keep a fish alive that isn't horribly inbred and that type of thing. So it's a little bit easier. Like those glow zebra danios and stuff, they drop like flies. Like they took the hardiest fish on the
Hey,
planet.
you have
the
to
zebra
take care. Maybe they
danio.
will sue you. I
It's
mean,
true, but that's my opinion. They took the hardiest
It's
fish
freedom
on the
of speech
planet
here in the
and
US,
made it
right?
very like a 5-year-old kid can't keep a zebra daniel alive all of a sudden. Like that's the problem. Like I don't want to sell, bad experiences. But I was thinking about how the hobby is different. There's a lot of people in the U.S. that their only fish store is a chain store, like a big-
Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So something like that, and so that's the only way they can see fish in person. And I think that definitely the places where that's going on, they are definitely being held back, and might be why they love glowfish because they can walk in and glowfish are available, that type of thing. Versus, like if you live in Germany, it's like one of our states almost, and it's like you've got a ton of specialized shops.
we have about 3,000 shops in Germany.
Yes, but
Which is
not
crazy.
so much specialized anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Any
this
changes?
is changes. This changes
Yeah.
also. We're also going from the specialized small shops to chain stores like the big Fresnap or.
But if
But
I'm
we have good chains.
so if I'm right,
yes, we
though,
have good chain
Some.
stores.
at your chain store, if fish are dying, isn't like can't they get in trouble by like? Isn't there like the? I'm trying to think like. Someone that oversees it, right? Like they
Yes.
can call it. Yeah, we don't
Yes,
have
of
that
course.
in the United States at all. Like if Walmart just kills the fish every day they land,
no.
they
They-
never
they-
get in trouble except if
No,
we get
no.
online and
Okay,
we
no,
can
we-
go like, oh, this is horrible.
They're coming to
different.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter coming.
And they were
Demonstration.
filming that,
Yeah.
and no, that you will ruin your the shop if this comes out. Or there's also veterinaries that
Yeah, but
visit
they get
shops.
like
you know.
fines and stuff, right?
I think,
Yes, of
wasn't
course.
it, I think isn't it you lose your license, right, to sell? Isn't that what it is?
No license, I don't think, but
You will have a bad reputation, and
Yes.
then the people will, because nowadays everybody posts stuff, and then the people will not visit the shop anymore.
But we now having this paragraph.
Yeah.
Paragraph 11.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
you need to making something like a.
Exam on
Exam?
fish on fish
Okay.
keeping.
If you want
Yeah.
to sell fish.
Right.
You just
Yeah.
cannot
That's what I said. You
go
have to
there and
prove
say,
your
I'm
knowledge."
starting to
Yeah.
sell fish today and I open up a fish shop. That is
Right.
not working. You have to have exams and go through all that process, and you have to know what you're doing.
And that's the reason we have a lot of shrimp online stores because shrimps don't have a right.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Is
They're
that-
invertebrates.
Invertebrates. So.
Different
Yeah.
thing, yeah. But
So if-
So there is a little.
if we have
eh,
a store that kills fish, I think the veterinarian comes and closes the shop.
yes,
I
Yeah,
think
I
it-
think
that happened.
Do not
Yeah.
allow you to sell anymore.
yes,
Yeah.
this happened
Yeah,
already.
that
Yeah,
happens.
So-
you don't need a license to sell, but if you kill fish every day,
Yeah.
they can come. And
That's what we heard.
You
Yeah,
need
they
a
could
well,
shut you down.
You need a business license though, right?
Or
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you,
Okay,
you
but
sell
they-
fish for food. So you can kill. Yeah, but that's different.